Hello and welcome to our interview. We are students of Business Administration at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. Today is a special moment for us because we are just a few days away from something really exciting, our COIL trip to China.
This COIL stands for Collaborative Online International Learning, and it's a program that connects students across the world. We've already been in touch with these Chinese students online, and now we finally get to meet them in person, work on real business cases together, and experience the culture firsthand.
Yes, this interview is part of our final reflection before the trip begins. It's actually our last interview before we leave for China. We want to take this time to reflect, share our thoughts, and talk honestly about our expectations, challenges, and hopes for this journey.
Instead of being interviewed by someone else, we are going to interview each other. That way, each of us can share our personal perspective, what we're excited about, what we're nervous about, and what we hope to learn. Everyone will get their moment to speak, and now we're going to cover all kinds of topics: culture, business, teamwork, language, and more.
But before we dive into the questions, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Musa Berkan, and I will be the first one interviewed.
I'm Rafael, and I will go second.
I am Simi Tokot, and I will be number 3.
And I'm Nikki. I'm the final participant today. We're excited to have this conversation and share our thoughts with you. So let's get started with the interview.
Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Can you briefly introduce yourself and explain why you decided to join the COIL trip to China?
Yeah, sure. My name is Musa Berkan, and I study business administration. I decided to go on this trip because I find China a fascinating country, both culturally and economically. I didn't want to miss these opportunities to experience the country up close and learn more about studying and working there.
All right. What did you know about China before signing up before this trip?
I knew that China has a very diverse and rich history, and that it's one of the most influential economies in the world. I had also heard that technology and innovation are advancing rapidly there, and I wanted to see that with my own eyes.
Okay. Did you have any expectations or ideas about what China would be like?
Yes, I expect a significant culture shock, especially due to the language, communication style, and the fast-paced lifestyle. I think it will be very different from what we are used to here.
Okay. How have you prepared for this trip?
I've learned some basic Chinese phrases and looked into local customs, and I have also watched documentaries and read articles about life and work in China.
What interests you the most about this experience?
Mainly working together with Chinese students and companies. I'm curious to see how their way of thinking and working differs from ours.
All right. What do you think will be the biggest challenge?
I think probably the language barrier and adjusting to a completely different environment. But that's what it makes such a great learning experience.
Is there anything you worried about?
Yes, maybe the food, because some dishes are different from what I'm used to, but I'm open to trying new things.
What do you hope to take back from this experience?
I hope to gain a broader perspective on how China operates and how international collaborations works in practice. So I'm looking forward to go to China.
All right, nice.
Okay, can you introduce yourself and explain why you chose the COIL trip?
Yes, of course. My name is Rafael, and I study business administration. I've always been interested in China, especially in how it develops economically and technologically. I want to have a better understanding of how doing business there is different from in the Netherlands.
Okay, interesting. So how do you currently view China?
At the moment, I think China is a country of huge contrasts, ultra modern cities, and also ancient traditions. So I'm curious to see the way how that comes together in daily life.
Okay, so which aspects of the Chinese culture interest you the most?
Um, I would say the way they do business and build relationships.
Mhm.
In China, trust and networking play a bigger role than in the Netherlands.
Okay, that's true. So have you done any preparation for the trip?
Yes, as preparation, I've learned some basic Chinese expressions,
Okay.
and I also researched how to behave in a business context there.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah.
So what do you expect from working with Chinese students and companies?
I think there will be differences in work style and communication,
Mhm.
but I hope we can learn a lot from one another.
Okay. Are you excited to see how technology plays a role in the daily life in China?
Definitely. I'm especially curious about how artificial intelligence and mobile payments are integrated into their society.
Okay, interesting. So, what challenges do you expect while visiting China?
I would say communication and also adjusting to new social norms.
Okay.
I think that will be the hardest.
Okay. So, final question. What would make this trip a success for you?
This trip would be a success for me if I return with new knowledge, cultural understanding, and maybe even some international context.
Okay, now let's hope so.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Sammy.
Hi.
I have some questions for you. My first question, can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us why you are excited about the Korea trip?
Yes, of course. My name is Simi. I'm a business administration student. I see this trip as a chance to explore a completely different world and understand how China is growing so fast in business and tech.
Okay. What was your first reaction when you heard about this opportunity?
Yes, I was immediately excited about the trip. I felt like a once in a lifetime moment, an opportunity. I didn't want to miss that.
Yeah. Okay. What do you hope to learn from working with Chinese students and companies?
I want to see how they use technology in business and how their mindset might be different from ours.
Okay. And are there specific sectors you're interested in?
Yes, the tech industry and how they use AI and data.
Okay. Interesting. What do you think? What do you think will be the biggest difference between life in the Netherlands and in China?
I think the speed and the skill of daily life. Everything moves faster and bigger in China.
Okay. And next question: how do you think you will adjust?
I think it might take a few days, but I'm open to it. I'm curious about using apps like WeChat or Alipay.
Okay. And will this trip change your view of China?
Absolutely. I expect to have more balance and realistic understanding after seeing it for the first time.
Okay. So my last question: what would be the most meaningful outcome for you?
For me, it's connecting with people and gaining insights that change how I view the world. That will make it all worth it.
Okay. Thank you for answering the
Yes.
questions.
Okay. So can you briefly introduce yourself and explain why you joined the Koyo trip?
Of course. My name is Nikki and I also study business administration. I joined because I've always been interested in international business and how different cultures operate, especially China because of its huge influence globally.
Okay, interesting. What do you already know or expect about China?
I know it's a country full of tradition but also very modern. I expect it to be fast-paced, structured and very different from the Netherlands.
Okay, yeah, I expect the same. How are you preparing for this trip?
How did I prepare? I watched some videos, I read up on the etiquette, and I practiced some useful Mandarin phrases like greetings and thank yous.
Okay, what excites you the most about this experience?
What excites me the most is working with students in China and seeing how they approach teamwork and problem solving.
Okay, and are you nervous about anything during the trip?
A bit. I want to make sure I'm respectful in China, especially around the hierarchy and saving phase, which are probably important in Chinese culture.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. What challenge do you expect to face? Outside of that?
I think the biggest challenge is probably the communication,
Yeah.
not just the language, but also but we also have different expectations from in how we work and we think. So I think that will be a big challenge.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And how do you think this will affect your future?
In the future, I think this will give me a stronger foundation for international teamwork, and it will make me more adaptable in global businesses.
Okay, that's nice. What will make this trip successful for you?
If I grow as a person, if I learn new perspectives, and if I build valuable connections, that would be a success in my eyes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
And that wraps up our interview. We have now each had the chance to share our thoughts about the upcoming Koyo trip to China, our excitement, our curiosity, and even a few things we are slightly nervous about.
Yes, and this conversation also helped us reflect on everything we've learned during the preparation phase, and also reminded us how much we still have to discover. There's something very special about stepping outside of your comfort zone, especially in a place as different and dynamic as China.
Yes, we are not just going on a sightseeing trip, we are going to collaborate with local students and companies, exchange knowledge, and learn how business is done in a completely different part of the world. We are going to practice cross-cultural communication, teamwork, and all important skills for the futures.
And beyond the professional side, this is also a personal journey. We're going to be exposed to a different way of life, new food, unfamiliar customs, and a whole new rhythm of society. That can be challenging, but it's also what makes this trip so meaningful.
Yes. We don't know exactly what's waiting for us, but that's part of the adventure. Either it's a cultural misunderstanding, a surprising business insight, or an unforgettable moment with new friends. We are open to learning from it all.
This was our final interview before we go. No follow-up afterwards, no looking back, just this one honest reflection before the real experience begins.
Thank you for listening to our stories and our expectations. The next time we talk about this trip, it won't be through a microphone, it will be through memories and personal growth.
Wish us luck as we take this big step into the unknown. We're ready for China and we're ready to grow. Thanks again and goodbye for now.